Someone asks you to choose between two identical bags. One has a logo, one doesn't. You pick the plain one. You see someone post their new branded sneakers. You don't feel envy. You feel something closer to confusion. And in conversations about what's trending, what's expensive, what's worth showing off, you're there. But you're not really in it. Here's what's strange. That detachment wasn't a decision. It just arrived, quietly. And there's a reason for that. You've probably noticed it. The way some people don't just buy things, they present them. Position the logo just right. Make sure it's seen. And somewhere along the way, you stopped needing that. Not because you tried to be different, but because the whole thing started to feel exhausting to watch. You stopped asking, how does this look? And started asking, why do I even need it to say anything at all? That shift, it's not minimalism. It's not indifference either. It's something quieter, harder to name. Because here's where it gets uncomfortable. People notice when you don't play the game. And sometimes they read that as something else. Maybe you can't afford it. Maybe you don't care about yourself. And in those moments, a question shows up. Am I actually confident? Or am I just pretending not to care? Because not caring can look exactly like confidence, until you're the only one no one is noticing. You replay it. You wonder, did that missing logo cost me something? And you sit with that thought longer than you'd like to admit. That discomfort is real, and it tells you something important. Here's what's actually happening. Most people use brands as identity shortcuts. A logo says everything: status, taste, belonging, instantly. No words needed. A logo is the fastest way to say something without having anything to say. And here's the harder truth. If a logo can change how people treat you, then they weren't responding to you in the first place. For a lot of people, external things become stand-ins for self-worth. The brand isn't just a product, it's borrowed confidence. Brands don't just sell products, they sell relief from self-doubt. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Think of it like a costume. Without it, you walk into the room as yourself. No shortcut, no signal, just you. And people who stop chasing brands, at some point, they stop needing the costume. Not because they're above it, but because they built something else, something quieter, more stable. Watch closely. The person with the logo checks, reactions, eye contact, approval. The person without it doesn't. Not because they don't care, but because they already hold what the logo was supposed to say. Some people get there slowly, by watching, by noticing, seeing how temporary that approval really is. And over time, the question changes. Not, how do I look? But, do I actually want this? That's not minimalism. That's stability. A different internal system, where identity isn't built outside first. It's built quietly, from the inside out. In small moments, in choosing not to answer a question that should have never required a price tag. And that detachment, it was never emptiness. It was the moment your identity stopped asking for proof.